Joyfm Radio. Number one non-stop music.
This is Joy FM.
Like I didn't mention, I was still on the Joyful Lunch on the Monday edition, still holding it down on Ministry PMC. It is 45 minutes past the hour of 13 in the afternoon, just in case you just locked on. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
How are you doing, Mr. Hezron?
I'm doing awesome, brother. How are you?
Not bad. We can't complain. Guess what I was doing just a few minutes ago? We were throwing it back with your old song that you did in 2016, Zaninge. And I must make mention, I was checking out the video on YouTube and just looking at how much work you were putting in as far as the music is concerned right there. Are you one of the people super proud when you see your old work?
Wow, that was done in actually 2010. The Zaninge is a 2010 project.
Okay, not 2016.
Not 2016. we uploaded it on YouTube around that time, yes.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, we'll be uploading a number of works that we have done.
Yeah.
I just sent you something that we did on COVID-19 with Muse. Quite a beautiful song. I've actually in the recent dedicated my time off the office to do a number of social commentary.
Okay.
These are commenting on social events that affect society and how best we can help society or add a voice to many issues through music.
Interesting. Let's talk about how many years are we talking about now in the industry? Like, have you tried to figure out how many years are you clocking?
You know, that doesn't matter. What matters is the output. How many years doesn't matter. You know, years, counting years just make you ancient. What matters is the relevance of your time doing something, your consistency. Above all, you know, relevance does not also amount to how much work that you are releasing out, but the value of what you are releasing out. Because I've seen a number of artists who've just been producing and releasing. At the end of the day, you even lose track of what they've released. So I would rather be an artist that takes his time, studies his art, his craft, and once I pen down my thoughts to them, it outlives time, you know. It has nothing to do with when was it released. It has to remain relevant because time was taken in the milling. And that's what I call relevance. And for me, time is nothing. So when it comes to being an artist, I don't look at it with time. I look at immortalizing my thoughts. And what I do.
Amazing. And also talking about your work, again, I was doing a research about you. I also remember a performance that you gave in China some time back. It's something that I still remember until now. I'm like, okay, this is what this man has been putting in as far as your work is concerned. The live music, not just you being a recording artist in the studio, but also when it comes to live music, you are an amazing artist as well. Let's talk about that. How has it been working for you in regards with live music, both studio-wise and also live recording as well, and also performances live?
Well, you see, I'm actually more a live performer than a studio recording artist, so that's why it becomes really difficult for me to even mime to my songs, because when we are playing in the studio, we are playing live, because that way it synergies well with the guy who's on the guitar, the guy on the drum, the guy on the keyboard, the guy playing what, their energy, you know, when we finish all that energy put together, it's what produces a masterpiece. So you find that when you are singing this song, you're just not outputting your emotions. There's also an emotion coming in from the guy on the bass. There's an emotion coming in emitted from the guy on the drum. So all these emotions put together produces a mastermind of art. And that's what makes music beautiful, because it's just not an output from one source. So that diverse, and when you're on the stage, it just becomes electric. So I'm looking forward to a time when I'll be given an opportunity to just perform my music live and be able to entreat my fans, those who have a great hearing to what I've been doing, so they can appreciate what have been all about. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing in this world that beats the spiritual attachment that is associated with a live performance.
All right, let's talk about the big thing right now. Your current song, a tribute song for the late Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, right here as well. I was listening to the song in the background. Maybe let's start with that. How do you remember, or rather celebrate, the life of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda?
A beautiful question there. You know, I remember Dr. Kenneth Kaunda not because of what I have, the time I've associated with Dr. Kaunda, you know, but I will tell you something frankly and bluntly, as it's supposed to be. I grew up, I was born in 1983, and that was the time when the leadership of Dr. Kaunda was in its evening. So that's the time when multipartyism was being pushed advanced. So most of the time, what we heard on on TV or through the medium, the grapevine, was that Dr. Kaunda was a harsh leader, was a dictator. And I remember growing up witnessing a coup attempt on his government. That also, you know, was celebrated by the majority Zambians. In 1991, I was pretty young. I think I was in grade 1. We witnessed the change of government, the MMT coming in. So you notice that all the vibes that I was getting about Dr. Kaunda were quite negative. And then the 10 years of Dr. Chiluba, also we saw Dr. Kaunda being incarcerated. You know, when there was an attempted coup on Dr. Chiluba's government again, he was incarcerated. He spent quite some time in the prison. But what we were getting, the vibe that we were getting was that this man was an evil to society, you see. That was the message that was coming in, being hammered on us. Until the time when Levi Patrick Mwanawasa came on, started cleansing Dr. Kaunda with crowning him with some crowns, you know, positioning him as the father of the nation. And also, you know, the coming government of Dr. Rupia Banda, Mr. Sata, and the President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu has also lifted the bar, cleansed the bar of and the history, the writing of Dr. Kaunda. So you find that for a young person like myself, I associated Dr. Kaunda with very negative information because of the era I grew up in. In the late 80s, there wasn't much good stuff about Kaunda. All we knew about is that our parents were lining up to buy commodities. Our parents were being mistreated. You couldn't mention the name Kaunda. You'll be gone by air. So, you know, all those negative stuff. You know, politics can be quite harsh on our history. So affected me. But the time I began to personally take keen interest in who Kaunda was out of my personal research, and then also associating Dr. Kaunda's life with the life of Nelson Mandela. You find that Nelson Mandela's life, 27 years in incarceration, and also 27 years of Dr. Kaunda as president. Now, what was common about it is that in the life of Dr. Kaunda, 27 years in power, he was actually fighting for what Nelson Mandela would have been fighting if he were president also. So the two lives affected my life to an extent where, as I was reading about Long Walk to Freedom, and also learning that the first place that Nelson Mandela visited when he was out of prison was Zambia, and also just the role that Zambia played to liberate countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa also, you know, from apartheid, and all the contribution in our neighboring countries. I began to learn that this man is a hero not just in Zambia, but across Africa. He was a true Pan-Africanist. And you know, when I was now time to pay tribute to him, I was looking at two lives, the life of Nelson Mandela and the life of Dr. Kaunda. What's the first line I'm going to write? Beyond the prison walls, You imagined a little me living in a sovereign land, and that was Dr. Kaunda's thought. I was thinking that could have been his thought when he was incarcerated before he even won the independence of the land. He bore the brand of our freedom. So, meaning that today, my child, today, your child, or any young person can expressly say they are free Zambians. They can walk in a store with a white man and buy whatever my white man is going to consume without being judged, without being mistreated, because of the sacrifice of Dr. Kaunda. So, what more best title to crown him as the man that bore the brand of our freedom? He suffered for the freedom I'm consuming today. So I salute Dr. Kaunda, I salute Nelson Mandela, I salute Harry Mwanga Nkumbula, I salute all our freedom fighters through that song.
Okay, so
that's what I can say.
Yeah, one word to describe him, just one word that you would describe him, just to summarize everything. What word is that?
He bore the brunt of our freedom. The title of my song is the best summary. When you listen to the words that were echoed on Monday, when we had a service in honor of Dr. Kaunda, the president of Malawi did echo that Dr. Kaunda's burial is a seed, that has born the freedom that we enjoy. So it's the same as what I'm saying, It's just that I'm not president, so you can't quote me. It's the same coin. We are saying he bore the brand of our freedom. He's the man that is behind the scars, that the freedom that we celebrate.
Amazing.
So we can only crown Dr. Kaunda as the man who bore the brand of our freedom. He is the man behind the freedom that we have to walk in a store and buy commodities without being judged white or black. So there are people who have borne the brand of our freedom that we salute. Just like when you look at the life of Jesus today. The life of Jesus bore the brand of the salvation that you and I celebrate. So we honor Dr. Kaunda and salute him for the sacrifice that he has contributed to the country Zambia. So, Father of the Nation is the best title.
My last question I'd like to find out from you is, what do you think, or rather, where do you feel the current generation can, where us as the current generation, what is one thing that we can learn from the life of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, from your own opinion, or rather perspective?
Well, my perspective here is this. There's a lot that we can learn from Dr. Kaunda. The number one, our first threat right now is these are non-communicable diseases. That's our threat. So how can we relate with the life of Dr. Kaunda? Dr. Kaunda's discipline on what he ate should be something that we should take in interest, because we don't really focus on what we eat, and we wonder why we die young.
Yeah.
You hear that? We don't focus on what we eat, so we wonder why we die young, because you are what you eat, not
True.
what you wear. You are what you eat, because what you eat is what cooks the outcome of your strength, your body, and your longevity. So Dr. Kaunda was a vegetarian who paid keen interest on what he ate, and I think that contributed to his long life. Today we are dying young, and so what did Kaunda do? Probably Kaunda in his young age, he probably was a person who exercised. You see Kaunda when he was coming to give a speech at the funeral of Nelson Mandela, he was jogging to the speech.
Yeah.
That shows you that the man, despite his age, he still showed you that exercise was a part of the discipline that could have added more to his 97th day. So that's a great lesson. Above all, look at Dr. Kaunda's love for God. He always emphasized a few words I want to echo here, which is love your neighbor as you love yourself. I think that is profound of Dr. Kaunda. The next thing is forgiveness. Dr. Kaunda, having served 27 years in power, serving the people of Zambia, you know that he was actually homeless. He didn't have a place where to stay after leaving presidency. He was also incarcerated. He lost a child. He went through a number of things that would have made him bitter. But the man was not bitter, because if he was bitter, he would have died young. Bitterness is like depression. It can kill you more than any other ailment can kill you. But the man was not bitter. What did he do when he was incarcerated during the MMP regime? You know what he did? He went on a fasting. He went on a fasting, just like Gandhi would have done. He went on a fasting, and he never shaved. All that was venting his anger, not on the person, but on himself, to release that internal depression. And the man was out, and what happened? He beat the pain of affliction that was directed at him on the people who were afflicting him. So our conscience is not how much we repay our enemies, but our conscience will go to sleep when we forgive our enemies, even those that fight us. So I think overall, Dr. Kaunda has outlived his enemies because of his love for God, his love for people, his love for humanity, and his love for his nation. So I think those few words, I'm still studying his life, but with those few words, I think sums up my summary of what I can learn from Dr. Kaunda, a man who took heart to forgive, to release anger through forgiveness. Because my brother, if you don't forgive, you will die with depression. You will die with the anger that emanates from being upset for a long time can really mess you up. So a lot to learn from Dr. Kaunda. And as nation goes to the elections, I would like to encourage them to emulate Dr. Kaunda, but by not undoing the one Zambia, one nation. Today we have proponents of tribalism. We have proponents who are standing on the podium undoing what Dr. Kaunda stood for, what Harimwanga Nkumbula stood for, what Dr. Chiluba stood for, democracy, not partism. These values should continue in this country because we have a strong foundation of the likes of Dr. Kaunda, Dr. Chiluba, Dr. Levi Mwanawasa, and of course Mr. Saka. And building on the developmental projects, we have President Edgar Chagwa Lungu following suit, emphasizing the one Zambia, one nation. So I call the nation to prayer for our leaders, even for our opposition leaders, for our councillors, people aspiring to be councillors, MPs, mayor for the cities. We have to pray for them. So take a stand. Pray for these people so that God can guide you to make the right decision in that booth. Because we need a Zambia that is free of violence, so that we can build together on the legacy and on the foundation of the seed that Dr. Kaunda's barrio demonstrates to this country.
Amazing. Well, it's great having a chat with you. So much to learn from, and also so much information right there. What about you premiere your current brand new song? Is there anything that you'd like to say in your remix before we go straight to your current brand new song, a tribute song?
Well, I have said everything a human being is supposed to say. And, the Bible is a great book because it says, in the multitude of words, error is never missed. So before I err, let me go. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Well, that was great having a chat. Have an amazing day. Make sure that you keep safe. Follow those healthy guidelines. COVID-19 is real.
It is real, and I've done a song, COVID is Real. I just shared to you right now.
Okay.
I sent you a file. I would love you to play this song as many times as you can.
Okay.
In honor of all the people we have lost to COVID. They are a symbol to remind us that, look, we are not living in the old normal. We are living in the new normal where we have to really safeguard ourselves. Today you could be up and running, but don't know who you can just run into that can be contagious. So on your mask, observe social distance, and always sanitize, hand sanitize.
Yeah.
It's very important that we also look out for our old folks, because we've seen a lot of our old folks, old trees are falling. Old trees are falling, but there's a lot that we need to learn from these old trees who are falling, because each day you find a grandpa has died, a father has died, and we have to be wary when we start losing pillars in the country. When we start losing pillars, young people like you and I must begin to take heart and to be able now to treasure the ones that are remaining by protecting them, by not disadvantaging them by bringing the disease home, because if ever I can sana. So please, let's protect our old folks.
Yeah. All right. Have an amazing one. It was an amazing interaction right here on Joy FM. Coming up is your two songs. A Corona song and also a tribute song for the late KK right here on Joy FM.
Thank you so much, brother.
All right. So that's Hezron Ngosa right there. Another amazing artist. Let's do this. Let's get to play his current brand new song. Let's get back with more in our last and final hour of the show on the Joyful Lunch.